error that the Quran points to natural selection. One of the main claims made by the theory of evolution is the delusion that natural selection is an evolutionary force. Modern science has revealed that this claim, first made under the primitive scientific conditions of the 19th century when Darwin was alive, is totally unfounded. In other words, it has revealed that natural selection has no mechanism permitting the development of existing life forms or the formation of new ones. But evolutionists blindly devoted to Darwinism ignore this fact in the face of science and constantly strive to keep the nonsense that natural selection is an evolutionary force on the agenda. Their aim is to impose the theory of evolution, which is devoid of any scientific foundation, on people lacking sufficient knowledge of the subject by way of indoctrination and propaganda. Ignorant people influenced by such evolutionist indoctrination and propaganda thus imagine the lie that natural selection is in fact an evolutionary force to be a scientific fact. They even go so far as to look for evidence of this in the Quran. One of the verses these people point to as supposed evidence for their claims reads, "I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. Your Lord creates and chooses whatever He wills. The choice is not theirs. Glory be to Allah. He is exalted above anything they associate with Him." This verse states that the Almighty Allah is the only one who creates and selects, and that Allah Himself will choose the people, messengers, and prophets on whom He will bestow salvation. The theory of evolution's claims regarding natural selection is the delusion that living things were selected through evolution as a result of natural events, and that this led to the emergence of new species. As we have seen, the meaning of this verse has nothing to do with evolutionist claims. Not the slightest inference pointing to any evolutionary natural selection can be drawn from it. Therefore, to claim there is a sign for evolutionary natural selection in this verse will be an imprudent act. Islamic scholars are also unanimous in interpreting the verse in the sense we have outlined. Imam Tabari, for instance, interprets it by saying, "Our Lord creates those servants He desires and chooses from among them those He will give faith and guidance. They have no right to choose. They have no means of doing what they desire." The great commentator Omar Nasuhi Belman also interprets the verse as meaning, "In those holy verses, Allah declares His creative power, that He favors and chooses whom He wishes, His wisdom and might, His unity, His meriting praise and splendor, His divine command, and that all His servants will be summoned to His spiritual presence." In other words, no one could prevent the Almighty's favoring and choosing in any way. Whatever His servants choose is not effective on their own. With all due respect, Allah is not obliged to create what they favor and prefer. Allah does not send His prophets upon the preference and opinion of the people to whom He has sent His prophets, but only upon His divine preference. Only He knows how and by which means goodness and prosperity will manifest. He has no partners, nothing may exist against His eternal will, and no one's will may be against His exalted determining and selecting. Hamdi Yazir of al-Mali interprets the verse thus, "Our Lord selects and creates that which He chooses." In other words, He creates what He chooses and selects what He wishes from those things He creates. He elevates to great tasks such as prophethood. They have no right of choice. For that reason, they have no right to ascribe other partners to Allah and to choose and appoint other deities. A second verse that some Muslims who espouse the idea of evolution indicate as supposed justification from the Quran for their views on natural selection is the first verse of Surah Fatir. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. Praise be to Allah, the bringer into being of the heavens and earth, He who made the angels messengers with wings 2, 3, or 4. He adds to creation in any way He wills. Allah has power over all things. They point to the expression He adds to creation in any way He wills as a proof of the alleged evolutionary development. But it is clear that this is a totally fictitious and groundless interpretation. The verse first refers to the special creation of the angels, and then says that our Lord adds to creation as He chooses. The expression, He adds to creation in any way He wills, refers to the number of wings of the angels in question, and also, more generally, to all the entities created by Him. Imam Tabari interprets this term as meaning, He adds to the number of angels as wings as He chooses. He can apply this addition to all beings. Creation and command are His. Omar Nasuhi Balman interprets the verse in the same way as Imam Tabari, saying, He is so all-powerful that He gives the angels the number of wings and powers they possess. As we have seen, the expression, He adds to creation in any way He wills, implies nothing whatsoever about creation through evolution. There are many examples of Allah adding to creation, and whom He makes superior to whom in the Quran, and none bear any evolutionary meaning. Allah states which of His creation He makes superior in various verses. When the superiority in question refers to human beings, this may take various forms such as strength, beauty, wealth, intelligence, knowledge, rank, or esteem. Allah can also add to the blessings He bestows when He so wishes. He may add to someone's wealth and property, or the number of his children. He may also create greater beauty and strength in whomsoever He wishes. Another example of His adding to creation is that of produces. In verse 4 of Surah Ar-Ra'd we are told, And we make some things better to eat than others. Despite their emerging from the same soil and being irrigated with the same water, Allah can add to the flavor or productivity of whatever goods He so chooses. Countless other instances of Allah's adding to creation could be cited. Allah knows the truth. However, it is irrational and illogical to think that anything about such a clear, open, and transparent expression could be equated with any alleged evolutionary process.